Hey guys, I want to share with you a couple articles today coming from the wonderful world of Yahoo Finance, and I'll be sure to put all the links up here in my information box. The first article was talking about the borrowing for November, and I was thinking about this a lot. In November, people are beginning to buy Christmas presents, and this article says Americans borrowed less for the 10th consecutive month. In November, with a total credit and borrowing on credit cards falling by the largest amounts on records going back nearly 7 decades. Well, my Keynesian believing economic buddies, that's not very good news because the Keynesian economic system, which our whole banking system is built around, requires these people to be spending and borrowing money like crazy. 7 decades? That's not sounding very good. The next article is about our favorite Treasury Secretary, Timothy Geithner. What an amazing man he is. He's doing such a swell job for all of us, isn't he? Well, he's about to get grilled by a congressional committee about his shady dealings with AIG. Kind of like that shady dealing when we had that sort of bailout where AIG got $180 billion and all this money went to all these foreign banks such as like Deutsche Bank, who got, what was it, about $11 billion of our money with no permission from us the people whatsoever. The guy deserves to be grilled. He deserves to be put on trial by a jury of his peers, as the Constitution gives him that right, because he's a criminal, plain and simple. Next article has to deal with Barack Obama, and he's concerned about the slumping jobs reports in this country, but it says that he's distracted because of the latest bombing attempt of a American airline by a young fellow who wanted to light his britches on fire. Now, here's the funny thing about terrorism. I mean, terrorism's not really funny, but it's a very odd occurrence that I'm noticing. Why is so much terrorism happening on aircraft, or have to do with aircraft? You have 9/11, and then you had this shoe bombing fellow, and then you have the underwear bombing fellow. And what about all these flights that were taken down? In other countries, terrorism seems to occur on buses and at stadiums and things like that. But it's always centered around aircraft. And I find it really ironic that this happens at the same time that these news stories start appearing about these TSA scanners that can actually see through your clothing. And I was thinking about that some. They actually have some pretty graphic photos of how detailed these scanners are. And I'm wondering when people are going to start designing undergarments that these scanners can't see through. I was thinking, well, there's probably a lot of women out there that don't want to be exposed, so they ought to develop some kind of lead painted booby blockers, with little smiley faces, or at least a Fourth Amendment written across. And it's completely outrageous because, I was thinking about, on a serious note, if I walked through one of those things and found out that somebody was looking at my wife and children's naked body, I would kick their ass. Plain and simple. Yeah, I'm talking to you, TSA. That's why I will never fly, because I don't want to go to jail for kicking all you people's asses. And that's plain and simple. I will never fly on an aircraft, and I highly encourage every single person watching this video to consider to never fly on an aircraft either. There's plenty of other means of transportations, car, ship, you name it. I'm never going on an aircraft again. And on a final note, there's a major story floating around about what's her name? Kate Gosslin's new hairdo. Now, if this is an American media or what, everyone's focused on this hairdo that she got because it was $5,000. And the sick thing about this is that the average Chinese household income is equivalent to about $2,300 of American money. Yet China owns our debt, and they own probably half of America anyway. And we're focused on this hair as all hell's breaking loose in the Keynesian economy that we have. And our Treasury Secretary is being grilled by Congress, and Obama's worried about someone lighting their underwear on fire. This is completely nuts, and I just think that we live in this whole realm of a chaotic deception, and half the time I don't even know what's going on. But it doesn't sound right to me. What do you think? Till next time, thank you.